Well, I'm just saying to our Australian viewers, you see, Jim Chalmers would be eyeing this off. For example, one of the proposals in the budget is a tax on unrealised capital gains. That is, Americans would have to pay taxes on property that has increased in value, even if they haven't sold the property. I mean, Peggy, for God's sake, where is this taking us? I mean, he's going to increase the business tax rate to 28%. The Tax Foundation has said that'll kill 159,000 jobs, shrink the economy by $720 billion, and cut wages for low-income Americans. And the tax hike would lead to America having, this is amazing, having a higher business tax rate than even communist China. And the communists sort of go after all the business people, all the millionaires. That's how they rake the money in. Here would be America with a higher business tax rate than China, and American workers that have to bear the brunt of all of this. Peggy, why aren't they marching in the streets?
Well, tax hikes is all they do when they're out of ideas and don't want to deal with fiscal responsibility. And as for the business tax, it's so interesting because what has Joe Biden said all along? He said he wanted to promote Made in America. He said 2 words are important, made in America. We've laughed about that. But this is completely opposite of that. This is going to, rather than bringing businesses back to America that have been all over the world, it's sending businesses right outside of our borders, doing the exact opposite of what he said that he wants to do and has prioritized with his administration. So everything he says is empty words. It doesn't match up with his actions. And somebody's got to be telling him that this is the wrong way to repatriate money and businesses back to America. It's going to do the exact opposite and drive them out.
To my viewers, Peggy's point is 100% correct. She's saying basically that the incidence of tax on business is driving American businesses to other destinations because the tax rate's too high. The total business taxes in this budget will jump by 56%, increase by 56%. And this is the Tax Foundation has said, quote, the highest sustained share of the economy since the 1970s. But at the end of the day, Peggy, where is business? What's their response? Have they lost their voice?
Well, it's not only not the way to get Americans to invest in business here, but to get people from all over the world to come here and invest. And it's amazing how a lot of these progressive Democrats that own big businesses or are CEOs of corporations, they're all in favor of these progressive policies as long as it punishes the little guy or punishes somebody else. And now all of a sudden, when those policies are boxing them in and we're seeing their own profits decline, all of a sudden they may be reconsidering some of their support of this. I know you're talking about on your show tonight the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. Yeah. They were very proud of the fact that they had spent $5 billion recently on this woke agenda. Well, I bet their depositors and their customers sure wish that the money would have been financially, put elsewhere in someplace responsible.